It's wild how dominant the SEC is becoming at everything. I was thinking about this last night. So Virginia beat Duke last night, and for whatever reason, I wasn't into the game, but for some reason I was paying attention. And
a game at Cameron Indoor kind of draws you in.
It does. It's just something about it. A tiny place. Have you ever been?
Yep.
Tiny.
Not for a game. Ole Miss women's basketball played in a regional in Chapel Hill, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, whenever it was, when I was doing games on the radio for them, and they practiced at Cameron.
It's surprising how tiny that place is.
Seats 9,000, but it feels little bitty.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, the ACC has one ranked team as of today. The ACC has one ranked team as of today. And the SEC won the Big 12 Challenge. Remember, we had John Gasway on a couple weeks ago, and he said those are the two best conferences in college basketball.
And the third best is the Big Ten, by the way.
Yeah.
The ACC is fourth at best.
It's Duke by themselves right now. And I'm sure that'll change. Louisville's going to hire a new coach, stuff like that. They'll get there. But right now, they're a one-man show. I think we are seeing the possibility of college sports runs through the Southeast. All college sports, not just football. Obviously, baseball's done it for a long time, but basketball's here. My gosh, the gymnastics programs are selling out their arenas every night. Softball's as dominant in the SEC as any other sport that the league has. Golf is great. College sports are becoming regionalized to this one. All of them.
Track and field / cross country. Arkansas is the gold standard in those events. Ole Miss cross country has been elite nationally for the last, almost decade. Mississippi State has had Olympic athletes in track and field. So has Ole Miss. So has LSU. So has Florida. So has Georgia. The list just goes on and on and on and on. Baseball speaks for itself. Yeah. And it's not just money, but money's a big part of it. The ability to dominate in basically every sport in which you participate, that's where the money comes in. Saying we're going to be dominant in football and we're going to focus our resources in football or football and men's basketball, that's one thing. But when you say we're going to be the very best in football and in men's basketball and in women's basketball and in baseball and in softball and in track and field and in cross country, and for the schools that participate in equestrian and in swimming and diving and in rifle and in women's soccer. What am I missing? I'm missing sports. Men's and women's golf, men's and women's tennis, all of them. Every single one of them. That's a function of you've got the money to allocate to every program that needs it. Use Ole Miss as an example right now. The capital campaign, the $350, $400 million capital campaign, yes, the lion's share of that money is going to football. They're also spending $20 million on softball, $20 million on soccer, $40 million on baseball. Golf's getting another, $10 million out of it. They're touching everything. Basketball's not getting anything new because they're playing in a $100 million arena that's 3 years old. I was going back and doing the math. So it's not exactly the same, but in terms of investment. So hey, we've talked a ton about how great Dudy Noble is. Mm-hmm. It is the gold standard for college baseball stadiums in America at the college level. And it was $65 million when it was all said and done.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State just spent $55-60 million on a brand new ballpark. When you look at what Ole Miss has done over a 15-year window for baseball, including the $40 million that they're about to spend, Ole Miss will have spent $80 million on Swayze Field over a 15-year window. That's not doing it all at once, and, it looks different when you do it a little bit at a time. but it was exterior stuff and then interior stuff, and now they're going back and doing exterior all over again.
And when I asked you about that a couple years ago, you said a lot of that money has gone for player amenities than for fan amenities. Is that accurate?
Yeah, like the first $18 million renovation, I think that was the number, was all fan amenities, right? That was when they redid some of the outfield and they extended the grandstands down the baselines in both directions, and they added the Diamond Club up top, and they, whatever else they did all the brickwork on the outside of the stadium, really kind of made it the showplace that it is. That was all fan amenity stuff. The next round was almost exclusively player amenity. That's where they built the big building that attached kind of behind the right field side, behind the first base side of the stadium. And they've got their indoor facility, and they've got the new locker rooms and their own weight room and the training facility. They did the dugout club seats that kind of are right there behind home plate that go down to field level, but that was it in terms of fan stuff. And now they're going to turn around and they're going to do another indoor facility for baseball beyond the right field wall. They're completely redoing the outfield all the way around, left field and right field, bringing it down to the seat, down to field level, and a whole. So yeah, they just didn't bite off $65 million at once to basically tear down the stadium and rebuild the entire thing. So the investment across the board is off the charts.
And they're getting a return, a very clear return.
Wins.
I mean, you can make the argument that the SEC is the best basketball conference in America. If 5 years ago I told you that, you would have said, no way.
7 years ago, the SEC got 3 teams in the NCAA tournament. And it was a stretch to get the third. Now you're talking 7 or 8.